D. Krause here, is called Nos4A2, N-O-S 4, the number 4, A2 by Joe Hill. Very scary novel of death and teleportation and nightmares. So be warned. If you start this, you're going to have to keep going on it until you're done. And just, it's going to take you a few days, because it's like 900 plus pages. And it's all mayhem and all terror, and you will be very happy when you get to the end, because it's a really good, really scary book. Because let's face it, there's very little good horror written anymore. Writers these days think that being gross is the same thing as being scary. So we get a lot of ick and revulsion, and but no genuine scares. And yes, I'm looking at you, Stephen King, which is kind of funny, because Joe Hill is Stephen King's son. Go figure. So, or if we don't have all the slasher stuff and the gross stuff, we get all this campy, postmodernist revisioning of old monsters, replete with social commentary and virtue signaling of the latest political position. And you know what? Just knock it off. Twinkly vampires are just not scary. Traditional vampires are, because imagine a relentless demon who's intent on draining your blood. One that can't be killed through normal means, and has no soul and no compassion, and is not going to fall in love with the teen queen, and except if he wants to make her his vampire bride, and regards you simply as food. A brilliant, experienced creature that relies on the world's disbelief and your helplessness to win. Like the character Charlie Manx in this book. Now, he is a vampire of a sort. Because he doesn't so much drain blood as he sucks the souls of children in order to stay young. And he doesn't live in a box of earth, and daylight doesn't faze him. He lives in a Rolls-Royce Silver Wraith, and in a shack in the woods called the Sleigh House, because there are Christmas ornaments in every tree. One for every child he has taken, and there are so many of them that they tinkle and ring in the breeze, hence the name, hence the pun, Sleigh House. Get it? So what Charlie does, he takes abused and neglected children to a place called Christmas Land, where every day is Christmas, and every morning there are presents like knives and sharp sticks to play games like poke the eye and bite the smallest. And what happens to these children will turn your blood cold as the children themselves. Oh, the parents? Don't worry about them. Charlie's got a familiar name, the Gas Mask Man, and he takes care of them. And it is scary, scary stuff. Now, of course, every vampire needs its Van Helsing, and in this book, Charlie's Van Helsing is Victoria. Because Victoria can do the very same thing that Charlie can. She can use an object, say like the Silver Wraith, to access something called the Inscapes, which is where the world becomes what you think it is, or what you want it to be. In Victoria's case, her vehicle is a Raleigh bicycle that takes her across a rickety bridge called the Shorter Way, and transports her to the location of lost objects, like her mom's bracelet or a friend's doll. And then, decades later, to Charlie Manx and her kidnapped son, who's on his way to Christmas Land. Now, I'll tell you, there are no heroes in this book, except maybe Victoria's sort of husband, a guy named Lou, because traveling the Inscapes really takes a horrible toll on you, and when you dance with the devil, you're going to get burned. And Victoria is flawed and broken and burned, and she's alone, and she's wounded, and things are not going to go well. That's all I'll say. So if there's a disappointment that I have in the book, it's that Christmas Land is given short shrift. We spent hundreds of pages building our way to it, and then pretty much it's gone. I could have stood a few hundred more pages just, going over the place and examining it, because it is a delicious nightmare world, and deserves a lot more space. And Joe Hill deserves more of my reading time. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Say, Joe, tell your dad to get back to the scary. D. Krause out. See you later.